opponent as to what they have in hand or how they're going to play their things. So the more information you have under your control, the better decision making you are going to make. What they have in hand or how they're going to play their things. So the more information you have under your control, the better decision making you are going to what they have in hand or how they're going to play their things. So the more information. If you can afford it, then use your powerful spells whenever they don't have an answer to.
And I think that's why in a lot of these decks, by the way, I think the Mercenary Axe, ooh, she could have actually buffed the Mercenary Axe to live through that, but chose not to. Wanted to keep the gold. Buying a lot of cheap items, it just fills your hand. It's actually really good in some way. Like, obviously you want to get these huge items. That's like everybody's dream, but being able to just play a card is super valuable in a lot of ways, even if it doesn't really help your hero that much.
And will we see a Divine Purpose here? I think, yeah, okay, going to the Axe.
Goodness, all right.
Yeah, a little bit of an overkill. You know, Axe is already really, really hard to kill, now making it impossible to kill pretty much. So we were talking the other day, what ways were there to kill something with damage immunity with the cards that we have right here. And I think there's two. There's coup de grace.
And then the item thing, right?
And then the item thing, yeah.
Which I didn't know until yesterday.
Yeah, so if you have an Apotheosis Blade and a hero in front of the damage immune hero, for example, Axe, and Axe was equipping, say, a Traveler's Cloak that would give him +4 health, and he himself had less than 4 health, by destroying that item, you would remove 4 of his health, go to -1, and kill him without taking damage just by removing the item. So in one way, it's like that Traveler's Cloak was holding him together, and by taking it off, it just falls apart.
And a potential next level play, if you need to kill your own Axe or whoever, and he's Divine Shielded or whatever, you can override the item with something else. With a weaker item. With a weaker item that will end up killing him. Of course, very fringe case, and who knows if that'll happen anytime soon.
I mean,
it's pretty cool to think.
I'm sure it will happen to someone at some point in the game.
Sure. All right, so this first lane, we do have a coup de grace here for the challenger, so it could take out LC if he so chooses.
He actually chooses to use the pick-off to remove that Pugna. That Pugna was not much of a threat, but it was trading with his Chen, and I think he valued the survivability of those 3 green heroes, which, by the way, they're all in the same lane, so heavily restricting what he can play where.
Right. Plus, he's looking at this right now. Oh, PA is already hitting LC. She's going to die. But if you look to the top, you can see that Flosh does have an item. Chose not to use it, though, because she's going to die anyway. So Berserker's Call, easy way to just clear that entire lane, essentially.
Yeah, interesting choice. I mean, there was not much that could have been done, and had the combat resolved, there wouldn't have been more damage to the tower. But again, removing that PA for 1 turn seems to be something that she considers valuable.
So a couple options here. You have Revtel Convoy, which is the unit that gains damage based on the gold you have.
Yeah, and that's going to be a 12-20.
Or you could silence Farvon, which is the only hero in the lane, preventing him from playing any green cards. But choosing to go for the Revtel Convoy, I think it's a safer choice for sure. Well, not the safer choice, I guess technically silencing is, but not a lot is accomplished by that.
Nope. It's actually probably the most valuable way to do it. And the Rebel Decoy comes right here as well. It might be able to swap with something. Do you want to swap here? No, I don't think there's anything.
Let him die.
Hope this works.
Indeed. All right, so now this is the choice. Do you coup de grace or do you go for that sweet, sweet gold?
You payday. You abandon this lane. You say, you know what? This is not my fight.
Agreed.
I take that 52 gold. That will turn my Reptile Convoy into a 26-18.
Because the other way to look at this is, no matter what you do, Debbie's dying to a creep, and you can't save her. So payday, 52 gold, and more creeps being spawned here for Fwash.
Out. Get out of here, one of those cases where no accident is just the perfect response.
Indeed. All right, 54 gold, and what do we have here?
Oh, look at what Fwash bought. We're gonna see this item. We're talking about it before.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, man.
This is, out of the items that are considered expensive, which I'd say is like 18 or more, this is up there with the Horn of the Alpha for me. Yeah, personal favorite.
Has to be careful of not putting it in front of the Apotheosis Blade, though.
Yes, that's true. That would be so bad.
That would be pretty bad.
So, in theory, we talked about this item, of course. The most important part about it, other than the giving armor to your tower, which actually is probably the most valuable part because of the fact that the champions have less HP on their towers, but being able to respawn right away, similar to what Rick's has, and having a Divine Shield on Axe, for example. So putting that on maybe, well, in this case, it would be somebody in the first or the second lane, in all likelihood, because you've already.
For example,
but the fact that you have two units that are kind of like they're invulnerable in some way, right?
Yep.
You're not killing them, or you're not having that much impact by killing them.
Okay,
it's like Rix is being put in the last lane to block.
With Rix in that last lane, it is less likely that we will see something like what we were talking about before, where a Vesture was played and then the Apotheosis blade was played in response. However, yeah, because he spent some of the gold, now the Reptile Convoy is not as powerful as it used to be. It's not a 26-18, it's just a 14-18. Foch can be looking at that, being like, oh, I know exactly how much gold is missing, and you only have one card in hand. She probably knows that it's the Apotheosis blade.
Or the Horn of the Alpha.
Does this deck have a Horn of the Alpha? I mean, it could have been from the Secret Shop, of course.
Oh, that's true. But yeah, this is the, this one should have it as well. Has one Apotheosis and one Horn of the Alpha. Those are the two expensive items.
There could be another Reptile Convoy here, and now you're putting two 14 and 20s. Putting pressure. You not only kill the Farbram, but also start threatening that lane with pretty much no heroes. You don't care at that point if the Lycan dies. You just take that lane with gigantic convoys.
Yeah.
Another piece of art that I really like. These horses are pretty realistic.
They're very realistic, in fact.
I like horses.
All right, they're just going to pop that Reptile again. This one's going to be killing Farvon. Gets the extra 2 damage from the Lycan.
Yep. Still applying 14 to the tower. That Nether Ward not super effective when your opponent is only playing creeps. Remember, spells are only the things that you play and then get resolved and go away. Improvements or creeps are not spells.
Right. Now, do you vesture Farvon? How much do you care about this?
You have 2 heroes coming back and you'll only be reducing 3 damage to the tower.
I think it's more about the rapid deployment than is the armor in this case. So she's going to do it. Because at this point, Lycan is stuck here. Axe is stuck in this lane as well, the 3rd lane that is.
Yep.
So just getting that huge advantage of, you're matching the 3 heroes if he ends up dying here.
Yep. And now the 3 armor in the tower means that there's 11 damage coming from the Reptile Convoy.
And I think the smart move here for the challenger, correct me if you think I'm wrong, Apotheosis Blade probably should be saved for the next round. I don't see a good use here.
Probably want to save. It's not going to accomplish anything right now.
It could kill the wolf.
Yep. You're not going to use coup de grace anytime soon right now, so you probably save it.
That would be a disaster, discarding that.
That would be a bad investment indeed. And now we can see that even though Farron died, he has the check mark because he's ready to come back. Because of that Apotheosis, because of that Vesture of the Tyrant, gives him rapid deployment. When a hero with rapid deployment dies, it is immediately ready for deployment, so it can be deployed at the start of the end of the round. That's a lot of deploy.
That's a lot of deploy indeed.
Hand of God here, prevent 2 creeps, delay the push.
I mean, you could think about it. It seems weird on the surface, but it definitely serves a function.
Now here you can, now you can
creeps.
Berserker's Call, and now suddenly you're putting 15 damage into this tower. Just
will
one
she go
short.
For poise to strike to finish it off?
You absolutely do.
And she will. So down the 3rd tower goes.
Except.
We're done listening to you.
Except nothing.
That
except could have played the Savage Wolf in front of the axe to block 13 of that damage.
True.
But she decided to silence. And I guess scared of the duel that was actually there in the hand.
I mean, it's not necessarily the wrong, I mean, that's probably the move you do more times than not, but having that wolf now in another lane could be beneficial, because if he had blocked there, you have to think that eventually, like the next round, that tower goes down anyway.
Yep.
It's a tough call. Now, here's the thing, you probably don't want to spend money with these 2 reptiles out, right?
I don't think you do. I think you rely on those reptiles to win that lane.
Although that Wingfall Hammer is pretty tempting. I love that item.
Well, it is gone now, and there's a lot of heroes to deploy for both Wash, who is putting some inch. Oh, I wonder if this is going to happen. Oh no, I was hoping for a big team fight.
I think we might be getting one.
And this is pretty close to that.
He's debating which way he wants to go.
going around. The Chen is the important deployment here, right? Because the Chen can steal a creep,
15 seconds
and you probably want that Savage Wolf on your side of the board. However, at the same time, that lane is already pretty much being taken. So I'm not sure if putting 2 heroes is not overcommitting too much to that lane. Although there's a threat of Ancient Kill Destruction as well, so we'll see what this takes us.
So, in theory,
You
can put Apotheosis Blade onto Debbie, and she can destroy Pugna's items
yes,
and get the kill on Pugna. But you're going to die no matter what,
right.
unless you use coup de grace afterwards,
Or
which you're not going to get to.
right, because initiative is a thing.
Indeed.
By doing that, we remove Debbie from the equation, opening 8 damage from the Pugna, and with that putting 14 damage to the tower, drawing a card with Potion of Knowledge, and with 7 gold, the Mercenary Exiles is not as tempting as it sounds. So we might just see a Bronze Legionnaire show up instead and put a little bit more damage into the tower. Oh, he goes for, sorry, she goes for the
We're fighting with you. but we don't
Mercenary
take
Exiles as well.
orders
Will
from
she
you.
click that active?
I think
Wise
so.
investment.
And why not?
Oh, yeah.
Ends up losing 1 gold, the extra tip for the...
Well, you had to
The
give them some
mercenary.
time. You know, they're good mercenaries.
They're from America, you got a tip.
You have to tip. Well, fortunately, it's not
Service fee.
20%.
That's true.
So now we can see here the steal, if he wants to. You might consider just saving that and not stealing anything because you're already destroying the tower. But I think just stealing that wolf and making it grow on your side is probably the way to go. That and the Thunderhide pack, and you might be threatening lethal in 2 turns. The other option is to actually Holy Persuasion the creep, not so that you have that, but to also have more damage open in front of the Reptile Convoys. Although you're already doing lethal damage, so that's not the most fantastic idea.
Yeah, and this is more of a like 2 to 3 turn lethal when really the first tower is your biggest concern. And all you have is a Lycan spawning, which, yeah, you can put down a Thunderhide pack, but we have 3 heroes, 1 with rapid deployment that's not Rix. It's going to be a tough comeback here for the challenger. Because keep in mind, the 3 armor to the tower, like, let's say somehow a creep gets by these heroes that are just amalgamating in front of everybody else. Creeps do 2 damage, 3 armor, trumps that.
0 damage.
I won't let you down.
Rix looks like, well, he kind of wants him to die, so he'll have a second hero on the first lane, I suppose. The worst thing you can do is put Savage Wolf in front of
Lycan right now. Yeah, that sounds like a mistake. You're giving that Savage Wolf for free. You're saving your rigs. That's an absolute disaster. And the throne is gone here. So, and you really don't think that Foch is going to be able to take this Ancient. The game will end up faster than that. So, leaving those 2 heroes stranded there, and there we see a little bit of the weakness of Divine Purpose as well. And okay.
Ooh. Unlucky on the draws for his items. He's buying him out, which is the correct move, but the Thunderhide, or the
Horn of the Alpha.
Horn of the Alpha. I keep saying Thunderhide pack, which is what comes out of it. It was basically at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, so with Rix and Lycan coming back, we will need to see a lot of really good deployments.
Oh my god, that's the worst.
Yeah, that's not,
ever.
that's
Oh,
not
no.
good.
Oh, that's not what you want to see. And we're not going to get to see the Apotheosis Blade actually destroy items either, which I think we have yet to see in the attacks so far.
And what is there to do? There's the Savage Wolf that can prevent some damage, 8 damage in particular, that's going to take you to 21. And you can't do much. Well, you can Potion of Knowledge. Definitely Potion of Knowledge.
Yeah. Of course, you have to worry about if there's a duel or something like that.
Yep.
Which they'll be able to kill Rix, but not. Actually, they can. No, they can't kill Lycan either.
Yeah, if you're worried about duel, then the first thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that both your heroes are out of duel range. So the first thing that you will play is that Traveler Cloak will go here and not the Apotheosis Blade.
Well, he'll get a kill in the duel at least.
That is a trade-off. Okay, they gave him a freebie. There's a pass here. Okay, there's some concession.
All right, game's over either way. GG, Foch wins.
Yeah, Ben from Vancouver, well played. And Foch, congratulations. Yeah, we will be seeing some more challengers coming back soon to us, but that was a really fun game.
Excellent, excellent.
Oh, you want to talk? Yeah, come here. Come on. Look. Oh, yeah, let's take a picture. Come on.
On camera.
On camera. This is fantastic. Come, come. Hello.
Don't make me look fat than I am. Get them in the back.
There we go.
All right, we've done
Everyone ready.
We've
Nice
done
meeting you,
it.
man. Have a good one.
We're getting replaced? Okay.
We are replaced.
Good
And that-
game.
yeah, that was good game, good life. And Slacks is ready to play someone else. So I'll leave you with the fantastic Luminous and Fwash.
Thank you. Yes. I don't know.
Thank you.
Just gonna say it.
Whoa.
Hello.
Hello, welcome back, Lumi.
Okay, you got situated on the chair over there?
I believe so.
All right. Who is our challenger? Andrew from SF.
Wow, SF again. We've got a lot of SF in Vancouver today.
Yeah.
All right, and it looks like we're gonna hop right in. I'm sorry, I'm like shivering. It's so cold up in that champion seat over there. I don't know if it's the nerves or if it's the air
I
conditioning.
mean, I thought it was a hot seat.
Yeah, nope.
Where's your fire?
Nope, nope. That is, unless Slacks has been in that seat before, it is a cold seat.
Okay. We need to bring a blanket or something for the future.
Slacks is getting ready. He's slapping on the headphones. Make sure you put on those headphones. We've had some sneaky challengers in the past couple of games.
I thought we were giving them hints anyways.
That's true. We're just trying to yell through.
Yeah.
Gotta have the illusion of, you know, being
Okay, all right. We got a match.
Got a match. We're gonna spectate it now.
Oh, Sir Action Slack with his favorite blue-black aggro.
Yes, indeed. That is also my favorite deck. I
Yes.
say that without a hint of sarcasm.
Challenger gonna go with, I think, what we all agreed on as the strongest or at least the most consistent deck. Miss of Avernus already in hand. And this quickly answers the question that, does he know that you could play?
There's the Sir Action Slack's early assault ladders.
Yes, that is what I've learned as not a great move. Ooh, miss only on 2.
It's interesting, right? You have enough mana to play it. It's an improvement.
Yes.
You know, your instinct is like, oh, I should just play this item. But
Yes, especially when you're getting some extra chip damage. That's the
Right.
normal instinct here.
And oh my goodness, this is the earliest disciple I've seen.
Yeah, that's actually representing 15 damage, but I think our challenger has the perfect answer in hand right now.
Indeed.
But instead, he's gonna go with the
Ooh.
Ironfall Gold Mine,
Green is
taking
good.
15 to get that extra 3 gold.
Yeah, I guess he's looking for a better, you know, maybe next round he'll surprise Slacks with that no accident. But
Sure.
Otherwise, since even though that Disciple of Nevermore has 4 health, it has -2 armor, and it gives everything -2 armor. So that no accident would actually
Take
kill
it.
off that Disciple.
In fact, no accident is going to be pretty vital moving forward, as he could also take down Sorla Khan if he puts Debbie
Debbie.
or Haley? Riley?
It's Debbie.
Okay, it's Debbie.
Debbie's going to go into the first lane, and Sorla Khan is going to hope that Debbie doesn't land right in front of him.
Ooh.
And it doesn't. Sorla gets a free hit onto the tower, unless our challenger puts down a Savage Wolf to soak up that damage for now.
Sure.
And of course, our challenger has smartly saved that no accident. If he wants to, he can also just throw a hammer at Sorla Khan's face, and she's gone.
Yep. This is going to be the hammer time. Take them down. Untested Grunt could have also came down, so our challenger actually had a lot of options.
Yes. This lane now looking pretty strong.
Okay.
And
Ooh, that
Flex is
is
going to go for the dimensional portal. Maybe
a
this.
lot of damage. That's lethal on turn 2.
That's wild.
That is actually
We
great.
underestimated the early assault ladders, and it is paying off for Slacks. Unfortunately, you know, now it's not lethal anymore.
But still, a good amount of damage.
Good amount of damage, and damage is important in this aggro deck and getting it in early. So Slacks is going to save Necrophos by TPing back to Fountain.
Yep. I agree with saving Necrophos as opposed to Zeus. You have Disciple of Nevermore, so you're already looking which is the other lane I can start pushing, and with the Black Hero coming in, that's very, very vital.
That's true, and he's going to drop the Celemane's Favor for the challenger. That's going to give him some nice mana ramp, and next turn he'll have 7 mana to work with in that first lane.
Yeah, 7 mana is the magic mana in this deck, as you could cast Steam Cannon. He's got that in hand, and he will really need to start shooting some shots to protect his mid tower, or challenger could just give it up already. But it is, to me, quite early to be giving it up. In fact, he is going to deploy the Chen in there.
Yep, I don't think that's bad as well. He has hero now in every lane, so he has the options to cast cards and use up his mana from each tower. Slax is gonna, he's picking out where he wants to put that Crystal Maiden.
CM.
Very squishy, only 2/5 in stats.
Yeah, but his hand's actually very good at protecting the CM. 2 battlefield control. Most likely CM should not die at all.
That's right. So he's actually putting the CM in the first lane, and even though it looks really bad that Debbie's gonna eat her up, but he has battlefield control in hand and can retarget where Debbie's gonna go.
I mean, there's 2 ways to look at it. It's like, if you do put it in here, you have battlefield control, but at the same time, you have to use battlefield control.
Yes.
Whereas she might be better off elsewhere. And it's going to be Steam Cannon. If Steam Cannon actually shoot down that creep, then the arrow will get redirected. Yes.
That's right. If there's no more target for Debbie to actually hit, she's just going to go default back to Crystal Maiden.
Yep, and that's exactly
what he does.
Yo, our challenger knows the mechanic of this game like the back of his hand.
Sign him up already.
Yeah.
Alright, so it looks like Crystal Maiden's going to die after all.
Yep. Do you want to waste that teleport scroll to save or not? We'll see.
Yeah, he has the option as well if he wanted to save Jamoy at the end.
Okay.
But just going to let CM die as she usually does.
We are sitting at 12 gold for this deck. Unfortunately, no more black hero downstream to use Payday for a challenger, so this 12 gold is not going to get doubled, at least this turn.
Challenger going to put down that Savage Wolf and blocks that 4 damage because of that Assault Ladders. That creep's actually doing 4 instead of 2. So good move in saving some damage to that 7 health tower there in the mid lane.
It's always a great choice to develop a Savage Wolf in a free lane.
Yes.
And with no hero here to contest or threaten that Savage Wolf, it's a free developed unit.
Oh, another Disciple of Nebmore. His heroes are going to die anyway. He's looking to just push for some damage from these 2 creeps.
I love this move, right? Like you got 2 more hero coming in, and you know that the Disciple of Nebmore is going to stick around. You could even protect his hero by, well, there you go.
There it is. And Rix is going to die this turn as well with that Necrovos hitting him for 7.
That is a lot of damage. Now Rix can come back and will come back thanks to the rapid deployment.
Ooh, Keenfold Musket picked up from the secret shop.
Yep.
Although there are some in this item deck.
Unfortunately for Slax, I think he really wanted to get those 2 extra creeps to the right side to start pushing. But Slax momentarily giving up that pressure on the mid lane, despite the fact that he did so much damage. You still need that final bit of 7 points.
Yeah, and it's looking pretty tough, especially with the 2 melee creeps going into the second lane for the challenger as well. So that board is getting really wide, and it's hard to just push for that 7.
Now, he does have cards like Ugladi Vandal.
Oh, Oglodi?
Oglodi Vandal in hand. Ooh, this is a perfect top deck.
Ooh, Dimensional Portal.
Yeah, Dimensional Portal, just straight up kill. But there's a silence.
Oh, wow. Our challenger knows what he's doing. With no spells to cast from Zeus, his static field can't proc, and there's no way that he can kill Debbie as a side effect.
Gun's gonna come out, so no need to Fountain Flask. I guess you could technically Fountain Flask and put the Traveler's Cloak.
Yeah, I think this tower is getting pretty low for Slax. He's maybe thinking of just letting Zeus die to tank the damage. He's equipping some items anyway, but
yeah.
We'll see if he decides to TP out and surrender this lane. But that mid lane is looking scary too, so he has to decide what he wants to do here and where he wants to win.
Question is, are we gonna see that untested grunt to come down? It will do 6 face damage, which is quite relevant.
Yep, he's gonna use a steam cannon first to pick off Sorla at the end.
Boom. Thanks.
Gone, thanks to that negative armor.
Disciple of Nevermore is often very good when you're pushing for that last bit of damage, and very risky when it's not that last bit of damage because it does make your whole board very weak as a result.
Yes, and because of that -2 armor he gives, I wanted to make sure that this was a concept I think when you first start playing, it's also hard to wrap around, but piercing damage is amplified by negative armor.
Yes.
So because Sorla has 5 health and had that negative armor effect, 1 steam cannon shot worth 4 damage still ended up killing Sorla.
With Zeus TPing out, a challenger puts that Claymore down, and he is 3 away from popping that tower.
Looking pretty rough for Slax, especially with this mid lane being so wide.
Yeah.
He's going to start having that Wolf also getting stronger with each combat phase. And once these creeps, which are all dying from Slax's end, end up dying, all of these guys are going to be hitting the tower.
Interesting that our challenger did not put the untested grunt on the first lane to get that lead though, instead choosing it to add a little bit more damage here. I don't think it actually ends up mattering. And he does have 50 gold now to go happy at Tiffany's.
Indeed, and we can see which lanes Slax is going to want to protect with 3 blue heroes. He does have Conflagration. He wants to put at least 1 blue hero in the first lane, and then that way he can cast Conflagration into the second, and then you can kill off these untested grunts and one of these creeps as well.
But with that said though, our challenger has both Steam Cannon and Pickoff available. So that is 8 damage that could come from anywhere. And smartly, Sir Action Slack puts both blue heroes mid. Because if he only put, let's say, Crystal Maiden or Yomoi, my boy, both of them would just get picked off by that series of spells.
Yes, and Slax does have, I just realized his name is Sir Artifaction Slax. Sir Artifaction Slax does have initiative, so he is considering what to do first.
Yep.
He's looking at Thunder God's Wrath, but that's not really helping him other than killing Rix in the last lane.
Which is actively bad for him.
Which is bad, exactly. And so I think he's going to want to do that conflict.
Okay.
Never mind.
Let's do the ban. That's cool too. But he is threatening to kill both these heroes. With that said though, I do think there's so many ways for our challenger to get lethal. He could just use the Steam Cannon to ensure it. He could pick off the creep, or he could just go Thunder High Pack.
That's true. That Thunder Hide pack is coming out hot. That is 8 mana, and it looks like he can just threaten lethal right here with Lycan alone.
Yep.
So may as well save that in that second lane. Zeus is not feeling so great.
No.
Misfired his gun, shot himself in the toe, and did 1 damage to himself.
Firearm is very dangerous. You gotta make sure you know how to handle it properly.
Right, you gotta take that safety off Zeus. So Slax is not feeling so great, so is already starting to shoot himself.
Ooh, shop deed. Unfortunately, we're not gonna see any crazy items from the shop because this game is over.
Game's over.
Yeah.
Had Slax put the Conflagration, as he likes to call it, into the second lane, I'm not even sure if he would have survived.
It would have definitely helped.
See, it definitely would have helped.
And he does have Dimensional Portal. I think, in fact, it would close up all of the gaps.
Yes.
But of course, he doesn't know that there is still Big Papa
Thunderhide.
Yeah.
And with Slack's lane being smaller than our challengers, you know, it's going to have a guaranteed hit on the outside of these this board.
These arrows are really helping out.
Yeah, these arrows.
But
just so happens this creep fell in front of PA, so it's blocking 6 damage, but because of the pick off in hand, PA is able to just take the win for our challenger.
Oh, excuse me, he didn't even had mana for the Thunder Pack, but did not
He didn't even
need
have
it.
mana because of the Salamane's favor. That's right.
Yeah.
So, did not need it. Give it up for Andrew from San Francisco.
I gotta say,
beating our challenger.
That looked like one of the most well-played games.
That was very well played by Andrew.
Are you sure that he's first time playing the game?
First time
I
playing?
don't believe you.
Avid card game player. Let's talk to Andrew for a bit. Is this working? Let's talk to Andrew for a bit. Is this working? Yes. Come on over here.
Hi, Andrew.
Hello, hello.
What's your card game background?
Yes.
I've been played Magic, Hearthstone, pretty much all of the card game offerings, so I'm fairly familiar with all of the concepts.
Okay.
And the idea of just the resource manipulation that black-green offers you with the ramp is really interesting.
Awesome. Yeah, you played very well. You silenced Slacks at perfect moments.
I had someone do that to me earlier.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you want to sit down and cast? Because you look like you're ready to...
Yeah, you're ready to go to the next level.
Yeah.
Sign this man up for a pro team.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Andrew.
very much.
Congratulations. All right. Yeah, that was a very well played game by Andrew there.
Yeah. When you are stomping in a game of Artifact, which doesn't happen a lot to me, but when you're stomping, you're at the height of your power. It just feels great. You know, like every move you make is just...
Falls perfectly into place.
Yeah.
All according to Keikaku.
According to Keikaku. We got a new challenger coming up. Do we have the name for our challenger?
Another Andrew.
Yes, from
Austin.
Texas.
All right. Andrew's going to go ahead and pick a deck of his choosing of the 4 pre-constructed decks. And Sunsfan, our new champion, will be given one of the remaining 3 decks.
Yep. And
hop right into it, spectating from the challenger's point of view. He's gone with the red and green Armor Cleave, aka Zoo deck.
Yes.
And Sunsfan has the dreaded black and blue. But Sunsfan, I believe, is one of the only ones of us casters who have won with this deck with that 30 health deficit so far.
Yeah, the black and blue is very, very difficult to pilot, especially if you make mistakes. But Sunsfan's a very tight player. I don't really see him making too many mistakes. In fact, turn 1 gets a hero kill, gets a Lycan. That's great.
And it's able to play Grazing Shot early and know that you're guaranteed the kill because it's very early on in the game. There's no shopping or consumables yet to deflect the ability to kill a hero, so you're not scared of just using that without any circumstances.
Yep. Here.
It's not going to kill him.
Yep.
But it'll bring him down to 1, so it's enough for the creep in the middle to finish him off.
Now, from the challenger's perspective, the creep will finish it off, but let's see if Sunsfan decides to save this hero. He could with the battlefield control, but decides not to.
And I think that's fine. We've talked about it a bit before, but heroes dying early on isn't necessarily a bad thing. He'll be able to deploy his Jamoy again on turn when he has 5 mana.
Sure.
So when there's not too much resources or mana to spend anyway, it's like, oh, may as well let him die. I'll put him out in a lane I want to where I have more cards and more mana.
Okay, we're going to see the Bronze Legionary being deployed. Unfortunately, did not get the 25% chance to shoot left to actually contest the Necro.
Yep, and now we reach the shopping phase where we see Sunsfan pick up a Healing Salve and a Short Sword.
Yeah, Healing Salve, very key for that Sorlakan on the left side.
Yes.
Taking a big hit. And we'll see if Arvin the Dreamer is going to challenge on the left side as well. Don't want to get it free hit in from Sorla. It's just way too much damage, too fast.
And especially with the black and blue deck.
Ooh.
Oh man, unfortunate.
That's rough. Let's see if our challenger can pick up a green creep. There's quite a high number of them. I want to say 6 at least. Alpha Wolf, there you go. The White Knight himself has shown up.
The Prowler Vanguard, here to protect his bros.
Yep.
Is that actually Farvon in the picture? Or is that his...
That's his literal White Knight.
That's his literal White Knight.
I think. I don't know. I might be...
Yeah, he's like a kind of different color.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys are holding shields, whereas the Farvon is holding a big staff.
I see. Yeah, so he heals up Sorla just in case there's something that, I don't know. Nothing's really threatening him right now,
Sure.
but there could be something that comes out later that, you know, Sorla could die to. But now Sorla's just going to take down that White Knight with 1 stab of her spear. But unfortunately, that means she doesn't get to hit the tower.
Yep. Kind of an awkward turn here for Sunsfan. Don't have too much to do, despite having 2 heroes of all his color here. And he's not getting any face damage in. So far, pretty good here for a challenger.
Yep, and it looks like we're just going to, you know, have this lane on hold for now. Not much damage to either tower yet.
This is a pretty unlucky arrow for...
That axe
yeah.
there. Grand Melee, an interesting improvement. It gives all heroes 2 cleave if there's a red hero there.
Yep.
So that includes Necrophos. So enemy heroes count as well, and you see Necrophos also now has that indicator that he is going to be attacking with cleave on that lane.
So I'm going to say this Grand Melee is actually actively hurting him right now, as his now Pugna takes 2 free damage.
Yep, and Pugna's actually not utilizing that cleave at all because there's no unit in front of him to actually
cleave off of, yeah.
And you might have noticed here, I wanted to talk about that. Axe was attacking a unit to the right, but cleave still procs in that case, and then will attack the unit to the right of his target.
Correct.
So I don't know if that creep was already at 2 health or
It was already 2 health,
okay.
so it wouldn't have mattered then.
Yes.
I think Grand Melee might be one of the most confusing cards out of our 4 decks here.
I agree. I definitely thought it meant my allies when I played it first, and I was like, oh, what a great cleave card for red to deal with minions, but could be a double-edged sword as all heroes get that cleave.
Okay. Looks like we have Sunsfan thinking about dumping all of his heroes on the right side. A very aggressive move, and I think by this he's going to completely give up the middle lane.
He sees those 2 creeps going into the second lane. And again, we know Sunsfan's win condition is really just trying to rush down a tower, get Sorla to start hitting buildings, and if you have more creeps going in one lane, that might be